Gizelle
and Josh. First and foremost, we want to apologize for not having done the video in such a long time. It's been about 3 months since we did our last video, group video. You and I, episode 4. There was a little cooking video that I did that wasn't very good, but hey, it was fun.
It was an experiment, and we will continue that.
Yeah. So we thank everyone's patience. We hope everyone's doing well in these hard times with the pandemic going around, and it still is going around. It's persistent. COVID-19, a lot of socio and political issues that's been going around, from George Floyd and protesting, the riots, the looting and the rioting, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of bad shit that's been going on with the world, as well as we have our own personal lives. We've gone through a lot of personal hardships as well. We'll discuss a little bit about that today. So what do you want to talk about first?
Like an update from the previous video. In the previous video, we mentioned some good news.
Yeah.
That we were pregnant. Now, the reason why, I guess we jumped the gun too fast is because, people spectated, I guess, that they're like, oh, they're pregnant. And speculated. Long story short, we had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, 2 weeks after we posted the video. And I'm sure many couples go through this. That's why we're making this episode about going through the hardships of a miscarriage as a married couple. And basically, it was just crazy. And it had to happen right during the pandemic. And I was sick too. I never had COVID, but I had a bad cough. And when you're in your first trimester, they tell you can't take any cough medicine. So I felt like I was in hell, and it was just really bad.
Yeah, for Gizelle, it was a massive physical and mental toll on her that day when she did go to the hospital. One day we're all happy and all, and the next minute she sees spotting, brown spotting, and obviously taking all precautions, better safe than sorry. She went to the hospital that day, and she actually did a recording of herself. So, take a look at the recording.
Yes.
So, it all started on Friday. I had cramps, spotting. I decided to go to the ER. I didn't know what was going on. I just found out we have a miscarriage. Just during this whole pandemic situation, it's terrible. I have to wear gloves and a mask because it's crazy. I'm disappointed, sad, guilty. And I'm here alone because they won't allow my husband to be with me. They don't want anyone to be exposed. I want to cry. I don't know. I guess me and Josh will keep trying. It's upsetting, when you just announce it on Facebook, everywhere, your good news, and then upload a video on the next day, My first miscarriage. Kind of was hoping that wasn't the case, but the bleeding wouldn't stop, the cramps wouldn't stop.
And I remember feeling really, really alone. And the hospitals here in New York City, they will not allow anyone to be with you.
Especially when we were at the peak of COVID-19, they wouldn't let any visitors and or a person to be with the person that's in the ER or in the, yeah.
I was alone. I was really sad because this is something we really want, and something that we kept trying, and it's not really easy. It's not easy.
It's never easy, and everyone goes through hardships like this very differently. For Gizelle, she mentally prepared herself for the worst, and as your husband, I gotta give props to my wife. not a lot of people can do that, prepare for the worst. So when it did happen, obviously we both felt it, but sometimes other people deal with it differently. You know, for myself as an individual, it took maybe 3 weeks until it really hit. You know, we've had arguments back and forth about what happened. You know, there's just so much confusion in the air. No marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. I cannot, you know, emphasize that enough. No marriage is perfect. We had arguments, and it led up to the point where, you know, I had to go back to my parents for a night and, you know, just put my thoughts together. So, you know, this was about 3 weeks after the miscarriage. I'd say I was at my parents' place. We were having dinner, and it's just randomly, you know, my sister, you know, my whole family already knew about the miscarriage. My sister was explaining that, you know, she really wants to see her nieces and nephews, our children, grow up in an environment where it's not messed up like New York, and that immediately took its effect on me. Those words affected me, and in the middle of dinner I started crying, and my dad was wondering, Josh, what the hell was wrong with you? And seconds later, my brother, with his family, you know, out in Massachusetts, and their son do a video message to my dad, and then they're all cheery and everything. My parents see their grandson taking a bath. You know, it's all cute and all, but I couldn't hold it in. I had to run straight to my room and, you know, cry it out a bit. All men cry. You know, a real man cries. You know, they know how to express himself on an emotional level. So I called Gizelle, you know, I was like, hon, this has never happened before. What's going on with me? Am I weak? No, it's perfectly normal.
You're human.
Human, yeah.
For me, going through back and forth with the ER, and I don't know, I mentally prepare myself, okay, I don't want to get my hopes up. This is what's happening. This is a miscarriage. I have to accept it and move on. And what really got me through this process and everything was the fact that my husband was saying, you know, we will try again. It's a mess, and we hope that things will change for the better. Yeah. We do want to have a child and raise it outside of New York City, outside of chaos. You know, the whole dream of a swing set, a house, something I never had growing up. He hadn't. Like a bitch.
I didn't have a swing set.
You had a beautiful house and maids.
This is a Natick, okay? Hey.
I grew up in the hood and the projects. You know what it's like being 4 years old and, you know, seeing a puddle of piss and kind of like hovering over it. Yeah, that's how I grew up. It's so bad. But I don't want that for my future children. I want them to grow up with things I've never had. And at the same time, appreciate it. And so we've been dealing with that. And I feel stupid. I feel really guilty about announcing it to the world because I was so happy.
Which is perfectly normal. Even the doctors say, you know, it's perfectly normal to announce. And when you're so overly excited, especially when they told you at one point that you couldn't get pregnant, you know, you defeated the impossible. You want to let the world know. You want to let everyone know that you were able to accomplish something, whereas the professionals said that you can't, but you did. But the miscarriage happened, but look, the doctors did give us some positive news. You know, they said that this happens very frequently.
Marriage during quarantine is so tough because we have to see each other every single day.
Every freaking day.
And we love him, but God.
I love her too. But
Jesus.
Jeez.
It's like, this is why I see a therapist.
Same
I'm sorry.
here.
He sees a therapist. I see a therapist. I have no shame. I live in New York City. Okay,
right.
I need to see a therapist.
It's not just I. We live in New York City and dealing with the stupidity out there, whereas people aren't sticking with social distancing
or even respecting the damn rules.
We're in phase 1 right now, and there's a probability that there's going to be an uptick.
Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not.
contagiousness.
So we've battled through a bit of depression, anxiety. You know, we want to be able to live life normal, and a lot of couples, they fight, or they can't handle it. Luckily for us, we know how to handle each other.
Yeah.
You know,
I got my quarantine cut. She cut my hair, so.
I mean, practicing. It's like clipping a bonsai tree, you know.
Which takes a lot of care. It ain't
Oh
easy.
yeah, it's therapeutic.
My mom tried to take care of a bonsai tree one time. It died within a week. Anyways.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, some positive outlooks to the future. You know, we are planning on our relocation to the Midwest.
Hopefully it'll happen. We just need more positive energies and continue to make shit happen. We need that motivation, which we have, but
right.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, no one's gonna do it for you but yourselves. So we have our plans to relocate within the next 3 or 4 months. It's gonna take a lot of work. It's not gonna be easy.
Might be delayed if there is a second wave.
But this year so far, a real delay. Nothing but delays, right?
2020 is just terrible.
2020 is terrible. They told me it was gonna be a hot year. No, it's a hot
Who's
mess.
they? Who's they? So I can just.
The fortune tellers.
Anyway.
Right.
Thank you guys for watching, and we promise that we'll continue publishing videos, and it will get even better. Okay, it's a learning experience. Hopefully people like to watch us. I don't know. I don't know. Bye.
Later, guys.